Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all to the next lecture of the JCE Connect series of online lectures. We are studying the subject Construction, Economics and Finance with the subject code 20CCT21, and we have started with Module 1. In a previous lecture, we have discussed some basic definitions of economics, finance, and their scope. So in today's lecture, we'll be continuing ahead with your Module 1. So in the previous class, we had stopped with these M factors. I had told you all that these M factors are very, very important with respect to both economics and finance. And I had also asked you all to go through a bit of this or collect some ideas. So can we have some good discussion regarding these M factors? So here are these 7 factors which I have listed, which will have an impact on the economics as well as the finance. So let us start with the first factor, which is market. Will anyone like to share their ideas? How is market important? And let us talk with respect to civil industry.
By establishing the standards.
Yeah, establishing the standards, you'll say. Okay, fine. So I've put up one sentences, and these are a bit of a general things. So what I have put up in the market section is a detailed study of existing market conditions as well as an insight of future is a must for taking any financial decisions. So what I mean by this is you should have a thorough knowledge of the market before entering into it with some project. Now let me take an example of a residential complex. If you are coming up with an, say, G+5 residential building with some commercial outlets for the first 2 floors or ground floor and first floor with the basement parking. We are coming up with the project. Now with respect to this, how is the market important? What study you have to do first is before investing or before taking financial decisions is that how much is the housing need in that area? Secondly, how much is the commercial need in that area? So firstly, if there is a housing need which will satisfy the number of flats you will come up with, then comes the first step of acceptance. This is basic acceptance. Because what happens is many times in tier 2 cities, many apartments are constructed parallelly and people in tier 2 cities go for a lower floor. So if the flat is on 4th floor or 5th floor, they generally hesitate to go for it. Generally the first floor, second floor flats are occupied earlier. So you as an investor or you as a builder, if you come into this field and say in your apartment, if 1 or 2 flats also remain unoccupied or unsold, that will hit your profit very badly. So study of existing market, in a sense, study of existing area. Now I spoke with the residential complex example. This will be applicable to each and everything in civil engineering, each and every project. So you should have an idea of the existing market before taking any financial decisions. Anyone wants to put up anything here? Naveen has already put 1 point. Anyone else regarding markets? How is it important? Or say the last line which I have mentioned, insight of future. Guys, I am urging you all, be a bit open. Maximum of you all have field experience, you have worked or you're working, so you all know these things. So if you put up your ideas, class will go in a better flow. Otherwise, class wraps up in 20-25 minutes. Because once analytical sums comes, okay, fine. But when we are discussing theory concepts, I expect some inputs from you all. Okay, anything else? Now, the last line which I have mentioned here is an insight of future. Okay, the prediction of the future or how will be the city growing in the future. These all things have become very, very important. Nowadays, the areas surrounding any important place, for example, saying Belgaum, the Belgaum airport has developed in past 2 years. Okay, so area surrounding the airport has got a lot of value. So if you come up with a project in that area, it might fetch you more value than expected. That is what is the insight of future. So you should know in that particular area in which you will be working, what are the new things coming up? Is there a new highway coming up? Is there a new ring road coming up? These all things will be add-on for your project. That is the market factor. Then comes manpower. Anything regarding manpower you want to put before I put up my line?
Mhm.
Sir, labor efficiency.
Yeah, labor efficiency. Okay,
For successful competition, it requires both skilled and unskilled labor, sir.
right, exactly. Okay, Vinay and Neha, thank you. So in case of
Sir,
manpower, yes, go ahead, Shabas.
sir, it can also refers to a managerial power, sir, non-managerial power.
Okay, fine. Okay, so now what I have put up here is we should have an idea about the labor force required. See, because you have studied the subject estimation in your BE, wherein we have various things, we have done a number of labors required. We are talking just with respect to economics and finance here, the manpower factor or the labor factor. A proper idea of the labor force required for execution of different works in a project is a must for financial planning. Okay, I have a set of 50 labors. As when I said, I think skilled laborers and unskilled laborers. We want engineers, we want site engineers, and various classes of labor which we have. So that proper idea we got to have. Suddenly, if in a project of a small scale, if the labor number increases by 5 to 10 also, your budgeting might collapse. Okay, so idea of the labor force required for execution of different works in a project is a must for your financial planning. Now when you think of a bigger project, for example, now in Bijapur there is an airport coming up. Hope Shabaz you have that idea. Okay, there is an
Yes, sir,
airport
yes,
coming up in Bijapur, right? Okay.
yes.
So if you are assigned a task there, you should be having a knowledge or an idea that how much labor force will be required, and as per that you have to do your financial planning. So idea of the requirement of the labor force, that is the manpower factor, is also very very important for your economics and finance. The next factor is money. Yes, money is always important.
There should be
In-depth
good
knowledge
capital
about,
raise in the project, sir.
yeah, correct. Rohan is good.
Because
Okay, so already I started to, yeah,
yes, sir.
go ahead, go ahead.
There should be good capital
Yeah,
raise so
go.
that the work scheduling should not delay the project, sir.
Exactly, very good, nice. So what Rohan means is you should have an idea of the capitals or required funds should be available, because many times what happens is we go ahead with the project and suddenly a time comes where we have a cash crunch. We don't have the required finances and our project work gets delayed or works get withheld and we are not able to make the payments to the laborers or to the contractors, or we don't have money to get the materials. Right, Rohan? This is what you wanted to tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, correct. So that's the money factor, which will be very, very important when you plan a project. So what I have mentioned here is in-depth knowledge about company's financial status is required before undertaking any project. Decisions regarding procurement of funds are equally important before bidding for a project. So if you are bidding for a huge work and if your company doesn't have that much of finances, you should know the sources from where you can get the funds so that you can go ahead with the bidding for the project. You cannot manage money, okay, after you take the project. That is not accepted in project management line. So you should have a clear-cut knowledge of the company finances. Now here is your advantage as a CCT expert, because this field goes in MBA finance, whereas you are a civil engineer with the knowledge of construction technology and a subject like economics and finance. So here your role becomes important, because what you will be able to do here is you will be able to take a better judgment than a MBA person, because an MBA person knows only economics and finance, whereas a civil engineer knows only civil engineering things. They both have to combine and then work out, whereas you as a project manager will be having a knowledge of civil engineering works, as well as if you study properly you will have a knowledge of economics and finance. So these things become your core areas: managing money, managing finance. As a project engineer becomes a critical area because you have knowledge of civil engineering works also, as well as you have knowledge of finance also. So this M factor, that is the money factor, is very, very important. So next is management. So anyone wants to put up some things about management?
There should be good management team for setting up works
Yes.
in scheduling this.
Yes. Nice, Rohan. Good.
For
Anyone
the
else?
plan, for the purpose of a plan and organization control, it requires
Correct.
management.
Right. Right. Correct. Very good. Yes. Anyone else want to
Sir, the
say anything?
management,
So yes, Shabas, go ahead.
sir, the management should be capable to handle the project, sir.
Yeah. Right. So now when you say that the management should be capable to handle the project, what all of you have said, I have put up this point. Okay. A strong management with experts from different fields make the financial decision making process a easy and a efficient one. So your management should consist of people who have worked, who have experience of different field. Now again here you have an advantage. Your experience is both here as a techno managerial level experience, because you are a BE civil, that is a technical person, as well as you will be having management skill. So your position becomes the managerial level and you can be a part of management. Okay, always look at yourself as a part of management group, because you will be having dual knowledge. You have selected this field not to work on the site. Otherwise, on diploma basis or on BE basis only, you could have sat in the office, done the estimates, done the billing, gone to the site. Here, your advantage is you are technically sound as a civil engineer, whereas you have additional management skill. So this M factor of management is very, very again important to your construction management field as a project manager. So your team should consist of all the experts. It should not be that expert is from different field and he is making civil engineering project. Many times we see many people who don't have a civil engineering degree also come in contracting. They hire some civil engineers under them and they start contracting only because they have money. But the level of contracting which they can reach because of only money is quite different. But if you yourself are a civil engineer, a management expert, or a construction technology expert, and if you come to engineering because you have the required expertise and skill sets, that's what I want to put here, that management should have experts from different areas, and their expertise will make the financial decisions very, very easy. You require different fields depending on the project on which you are working. Okay, so the management should consist of, or a team, you have to form a team which is strong, not a team which has your friends and relatives. Okay, you should form a team which has experts, so that the taking the financial decision becomes better and the decisions taken are efficient. Hope you all agree with this point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now the next M factor is materials. So anyone else who has not spoken, okay, what you want to put up about the materials? When we are planning financially or economic wise for a project, how is material factor important?
Sir, material should be easily available in the
Available.
nearby area, sir.
Rohan, 2 minutes, excuse
Yes,
me.
sir.
Like, let's see if anyone else wants to put up their point, let them put.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Otherwise, what points you're putting are very good and very much valid. I really appreciate it. If anyone else wants to put up any points. And one more thing I'm doing, because that internal 40 marks are there. How to give it, on what basis to give it, is very, very, very a topic of discussion. So in your 20 marks assignment I will give, and I'm noting down your names who are enthusiastically answering. See, answering correct or wrong is secondary. Who are participating in the discussion, I'm noting down your names, and that might be effective in your internal marks also. Okay, because it's up to us that 120 marks will give you as assignment. Next 20 marks, I'll really like people to come up and speak. Yeah, about materials. What, anyone wants to put up a point? Already
Whatever
Rohan
the
has given a hint. Yes, Naveen.
whatever the material should be used for the particular project, it should be work
Okay.
efficiently and reduce the human effort.
Okay, good. So he said that use appropriate material so that human efforts are reduced. Anyone else?
So the material should be
Sir,
supplied as per the specifications.
Okay, very nice. So Vinayak is very much specific about the things. He says that materials procured should be as per the specification. Yes, if you procure some other materials, it will be wasted, or say you have to transport it back, which will be costly. Right, Vinay? Anything else? Anyone regarding materials?
So the
So
cost
try
of
and
the
use locally available materials
Yeah,
than
right. Same point.
importing or materials from outside. It will increase transportation cost plus also labor cost, or we need special labors for handling those materials.
Yeah.
So try
Okay.
to use locally available materials.
Yeah, that's right. So while planning, you can see that if you are using locally available material, it is beneficial for both. It is beneficial for local people also, whereas it is
Yeah, and
beneficial for the
financially
contractor
also.
also. Right.
Yes.
so
Okay.
the
Thank you,
cost of the
Apurva.
material should be minimum,
Yeah, material cost has to be also given the
because
consideration. Yes, right, Vivek.
huge amount of material is being utilized,
Yeah, right.
and even
Vivek, you're truly speaking as a contractor. Very good. Nice answer.
because even small amount of reduction in cost will have
Yeah,
a huge benefit and profit in that the end.
correct. Yeah. So exactly now, if we are going to construct a building in Belgaum area, nearby Belgaum area, that is Yellur and this side, they produce very nice quality of red bricks. Okay. So if you are going ahead with the construction of a residential building in Belgaum, it is very much feasible for you all to adopt those bricks, which are locally available, made by local people using local materials. Okay, so what happens is you are developing your own economy instead of ordering from companies which are reputed, they have big financial these things and all. The quality of the material is also very good. Okay, people staying in nearby Belgaum area, hopefully you know this, right? Right, Vivek?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
red bricks manufactured in the Desur area because it is famous known as Desur brick also. Okay,
Yes,
we
sir.
can use those brick. Yeah. So with this, I am putting up a point saying that the idea of quantity and quality of various construction materials required and their procurement plan helps in financial planning. So any material, when you know that it is required, you should have a plan from where you will be purchasing, in how much quantity you will be purchasing, what quality you will be purchasing. So that makes your financial planning efficient. Now the thing is that for single material, only 10 points can be put up. I don't want to do it here. I want some 5 6 points to be from your side, and then one single point I'll put up. So if this question comes in the internals, and if you write your own valid points, I'll be giving you all marks. Need not worry, because this is a common sense answer, and it's based on your general knowledge and the field expertise if you have any. So if you don't know, ask. I'll write and give as a kid. So 10 points, 1 2 3 4. Okay, I don't want that to happen at this level. So good. Up to now, many of you all have answered satisfactorily. Next, methods. So anyone wants to put up some points in this methods? When we say methods,
Methods.
Sorry,
The met-
yeah, who's speaking? Yeah,
yes,
any one
the
of you.
methods which so, can I
Naveen, go ahead, Naveen, go ahead.
whatever the methods we are adopting, sir, it should be
Okay,
easily means it's usually understand by the from topper management to the lower management, and
okay,
they work from the plans adopted by the higher
yeah,
authority with
right.
easily
Okay.
and efficiently.
Yeah, so here Naveen wants to say that what methods we are adopting should be clear cut. Everyone should have an idea what approach we are adopting, right, Naveen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, next, Neha, you want to say anything?
Sir, those methods we are adopting, for that skilled labor should not be required.
Okay. Depends on what task we are performing, some required skilled labor. So you are saying that let us adopt an easy method which is available.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Other,
sir, we have to adopt such method wherein we can complete our project in less time, sir. So we have to
yeah,
see which
very
methods
good.
help us to complete the project in
Written,
faster time.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Fine. Good, Apurva. Yes, anyone else who is not answering? Atiya ji, aap ho? Ravina?
Yes, sir.
Shabaz, a second.
Choosing the right method, like breaking
Yeah.
down the methods, like work breakdown structure. And all.
Okay. WBS. Okay, fine. Yes, Shabaz?
Sir, whatever methods adopted by the our company, organization, or any team, It should be according to
Hmm.
the standardization.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we should not adopt any desi methods, you mean, right? It should be
Yes.
standard. Very good. Yeah. Okay.
And
So now,
within
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go
the
ahead.
work should be completed within time and less cost, sir.
Yeah. Now see, we all are civil engineers. See how our ideas adopt. I have not put up the slide, but what you are telling, these points and the ideas which I'm putting up are nearly matching. So we are on the same page. That's very nice. Okay, having a clear idea of the methods and techniques which are to be adopted during the various stages of construction helps in budgeting. Now, what happens here is we have various methods by which work can be done. For example, take simple excavation work. We can do it manually or we can use the machinery. Now it depends on the scale of the work, one thing, how much urgency you have is the second thing, and availability of the resources is the third thing. And the soil condition. If you have boulders, if you have rocks, for example, in Belgaum area, if you go to Ottonagar side, it's completely rocky strata, and it's like nearly impossible for manual laborers without using a jackhammer to break those stones. So that time you cannot be stubborn saying that no, it should be done manually only. No, you have to go ahead with the method. So what method you will be adopting for particular site has to be clear. Many times you find waterlogging in some areas, and in some areas you don't find waterlogging. So in the areas where you find waterlogging or you anticipate waterlogging, you have to be prepared with a method for dewatering. Okay, so this is what you mean by methods, and for that finances will be required. Now suddenly you have done the excavation and your pits are full with water, and then you realize that yes, I have to dewater the things, or water table is very high. As you go with excavation, water oozes out of the soil. Then you realize that I have to pump out this water, then make the pumping arrangements, then do all those work. It causes delay as well as it increases your project cost. So Atya, the point which she had put, that is work breakdown structure, in this it matters, because if your one task get delayed, automatically what happens? The number of days required for the further task also get delayed. So this is what is I mean by method. Then you as construction technology experts should be aware of the new techniques, okay, which are coming up in the market. Still in India, we are labor oriented. The mechanization has not happened that much, or the percentage of mechanization is quite less here. But what happens is if you deal with major projects, big projects, the level of mechanization there and new methods which we are adopting are of the next level. So you as a construction technology expert, even if it is in the subject or even if it's beyond the subject, you should have a thorough knowledge, okay, of the methods and the techniques which will benefit you and which will benefit your firm. Which method to be used when? If you use method 1, how much costing might happen? If you use method 2, how much costing might happen? What is important? Time is important. If you have more time in hand, which method to adopt? These all decisions you'll have to take very much properly. Next is the machines. So again, methods and machines go nearly hand in hand. Proper knowledge of the various machines and tools required during various stages of the project helps in better financial planning, right? So if you want to use machinery, which all machineries have to be used, how much money you have to invest, whether you will buy the machine or you will go for a rented machine. So these all decisions will make your M factor. So these are the 7 M factors which will affect your economic and financial planning for the project. Okay, so Fatak say once again, I'll open up the list. First is the market, second is the manpower, next is money, next is management, materials, methods, and machines. So is the idea about these 7 factors clear to all of you all? Any one of you give me an answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear,
Yeah,
sir.
okay, fine. Yeah. And see here, with your common sense, you can put up your points. But only thing is that when you're writing theoretical answers, see that, we can understand what you are feeling to tell when you speak. But once you write it, let the grammatical formation come in at least the proper way. Because when you're writing the theory answers in final exams, we understand that the student, what he wants to say. Okay, आप क्या बोलना चाहते हो हम समझ जाते हैं, but what happens when you're penning down the sentences? They don't come in a proper way. And you as a project manager tomorrow will be representing your company in big meetings. Okay, you'll be preparing project reports. So there these things matter. See, generally English won't prove whether you are a good engineer or a bad engineer, accepted. But your role is as a project manager, wherein you'll be representing your company in front of big contractors, or say at ministry level, various things you'll be doing. And that's where when you prepare a project report, or say instantly a task is given to you all, make a small report on this and give. There's where the knowledge of proper English comes into importance. So friends, I'm urging you all, don't ignore it. Okay, I'm happy that even if it is online mode, if it was offline mode, I would have made you stand and answer. Still in offline mode, maximum of you all are putting efforts and trying to come up with ideas. I'm really happy with this. So now let's go to the next part of today's class, wherein we'll be studying classification of economics. Okay, again, this is important, and this is not word to word mentioned in your syllabus, because many of you all have an habit of taking the syllabus copy and looking at it. It was there in the old syllabus, but I feel this is necessary. You should have a bit of knowledge of this, so I have included this part. So economics is broadly classified into two types. One is microeconomics and second is macroeconomics. These two terms were coined by Professor Rangner of also University. Okay, so economics is broadly divided into two fields. One is micro, one is macro. So as the name says, micro means a smaller one, whereas macro means a bigger one. Okay, so microeconomy is a smaller economy, whereas macroeconomy is a bigger economy. We will discuss this at the end of this discussion with respect to a civil engineering project also. We'll make the discussions so that the things will be clear to you all. So first let us see what is microeconomics. Microeconomics deals with a small part of economy. It studies the economic behavior of individual unit, an individual firm, or an industry. So as in the previous slides, I have shown you all, we classify economics into two parts, microeconomics and macroeconomics, coined by Professor Ranger. We see the definition of microeconomics. Microeconomics deals with a small part of the economy. So I think I'll be asking this question. Remind me, in the assignment also I'll be asking this question, and in the internals also I'll be putting up this question, microeconomics and macroeconomics. So microeconomics studies product and factor pricing and also the theory of economic welfare. So microeconomics deals with the study of a product and factor pricing and also the theory of economic welfare. Now once we take an example, we will understand this in a better way. It is something referred to as price theory. So microeconomics is also referred to as price theory because it mainly revolves around the prices of different variables. Okay, so it is moving around the price of different variables. So we refer to this as a price theory also. So this is the structure of microeconomics. So the structure of microeconomics is all about product pricing, which deals with theory of demand, theory of supply. This we have in the next part of the module, theory of demand and supply. We will be studying this. That's why I included this microeconomics and macroeconomics, because the next things which we are studying either come under microeconomics or come under macroeconomics. So you should have an idea about this. That's why I've included this part. Then factor pricing, theory of distribution. That means wages, rent, interest, profit. So if you are running a firm, okay, what wages you have to pay, if there are any rents, what are those, then interest is, if you have taken a loan, how much interest goes, or if you have given a loan, how much interest will come, then whether your company is making profit or loss. These all factors come under factor pricing. Then next is welfare economics. So microeconomics also deals with welfare economics. Now, what do you mean by welfare economics is this principle says that who all are working should be benefited. Fine, if you have a big industry, you'll earn big money. That's for sure. But because of whom you'll earn the big money? Because of all the people who are working for your company, who are working under you. Of course, you're giving them the wages. That's there always. But the high profits if you make, okay, then what economics says is go for welfare economics, wherein you'll share some part of your profit also with the people who are working for you. That is a part of microeconomics. So microeconomics is very nice. It's a community economics where we give more stress on the production, the pricing, the costing, wages, rent, and the most important part of this is welfare economics. Now, as we are seeing the lockdown, okay, we are blessed. We have God in our home. We have parents. They are supporting us, or many of us, or many of you all are working. We are able to support. But which class is suffering the most is the labor class, because many people are there on daily wages basis working in our country, and that number is big. So if the work stops, as they are not listed laborers, they are not registered laborers, when the work stops, it's like they don't have any other options. They have to move again back to their own hometown or do something or sit wherever they are. Whatever savings they have to use it for satisfying the basic necessities. Still, we don't know whether that necessities are satisfied or no. So there comes a part of welfare economics. So a company owner or a contractor, when he earns profit, he has to keep some funds aside for welfare economics, which is the welfare of the society, which is a very important part of microeconomics. So basically, again, microeconomics deals with three things: product pricing, theory of demand, and theory of supply. This will be studying as a part of syllabus. Factor pricing, that is wages, rent, interests, and profit. These all come as a part of factor pricing. Now, when I say wages, you cannot pay 2,000 rupees per day for a labor, right? No. Why? It doesn't fit in your microeconomics. Then rent. You cannot buy and, if you want to put up a godown and say the rent is 10 lakh rupees. No, we cannot do that. Why? It doesn't satisfy our theory of distribution. Then when we take the loan, the interest which we have to pay, that has to be calculated again by theory of distribution. Then profits which we earn is a result of all this. And when we earn profits, it's our social responsibility to do welfare economics. Friends, I'm telling you all that we all are in the civil industry. Civil industry is the one which is closely related with the society. Okay, which is closely related with the society, and hence we have a major part to play in welfare economics. And once you become a big contractor, or when you are at a project manager level, you'll have a major role to play in this welfare economics, which is a part of your microeconomics. So remember this: to the welfare of those people who are working with you and working under you, automatically you will raise to the next level. That is what this microeconomics tells us. Now next we'll discuss something about macroeconomics. Now, as the name says, it is a bigger thing. Okay, macro. It is a study of economic system as a whole. It deals with components such as total income, employment, general price level, total production, consumption, investments, etc. So when we shift from micro to macro, the macro terms are bigger. Okay, here we are talking about a total income, total employment, okay, general price level. What is the total production? So for example, if I take a company of Tata Motors, it has plants at various locations. So macroeconomics of Tata Motors will be calculation of the total production from all the plants. Okay, that is what is macroeconomics. It is not bothered about plant 1, plant 2, plant 3. Okay, it is bothered about entire whole production. Okay, that is what is the total production. Then total consumption, how much raw material is consumed overall. Total cost which is invested. Okay, so that comes under macroeconomics. So macroeconomics therefore studies theories related to income, output, employment, and growth. Okay, so whereas micro is concerned with that small area, in macroeconomics we cover a bigger area. Okay, macroeconomics, we cover a bigger area. So here theory is related to income, output, employment, growth come into picture. Now these all also can be your seminar topics. Macroeconomics can be a seminar topic. So taking an example of a company, you can study the macroeconomics of that. It becomes your case study as well as a seminar. So many of you all will have a doubt which subjects or which things to pick up. If you are interested in financial side, these all topics will be very nice. So macroeconomics deals with the overall study of the whole economy. Okay, it doesn't concentrate on the smaller things, but it concentrates on the larger picture. So how we break up macroeconomics is theory of income and employment, theory of general price level and inflation. Now inflation is a term which we'll be studying further, which is very, very hot topic, inflation levels. Then theory of economic growth and theory of distribution. Now these are some terms which are very, very new for us civil engineers. But as a construction technology expert or a project manager, having a knowledge of these terms of economics will help you all immensely. Okay, so this is what about microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now let's come up with some discussion on microeconomics and macroeconomics. So basically, again, I'm repeating, micro means chota sa, concerned with a particular area. Macro means bada. So I will put a question that I am developing a big stretch of national highway. I am in a company where we have got a tender to develop, say, 100, 200, 300 kilometers of a national highway. So that is my big project. So in this big project, can anyone tell me what all setups will require and which will be a macroeconomics and which will be microeconomics? I'm giving you all an example where I'm talking about a highway construction work. So anyone with the knowledge can put up?
Sir, machines and material will be macro, according to me, I think.
Okay.
And small finances like insurance, labor insurance, or labor insurance, or some small activities
Things
which
can
are
be
daily basis activities,
Fine.
like some repair works or some injuries. So those are micro economics.
You feel okay. Fine. Good.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Sir, handling the whole project is known as a macro. Sir.
Macro. Correct. Very good, Shabaz. This is correct. And handling parts of it will be known as micro. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Ravina, are you there? No, she's not there. Vivek?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Rohan. So,
Sir,
tell me
up,
various. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah, go
stretching
ahead,
up
Rohan.
highway for 300 to 400 kilometers takes many towns nearby, sir. Right?
Correct. Yeah, right.
So we can hire up the laborers nearby towns, which includes the welfare economics.
Yeah, welfare economics. Very good. Very nice answer, one which comes in the part of microeconomics. Now, this is what is required. This participation is very much required. Yes, anyone else wants to put up a point? Anyone else wants to put up a point? You are able to hear to me, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I'm speaking with civil engineers. I'm not speaking with BE students. Okay. I'm already speaking with second semester PG students. I have given an example of a road work project.
Hiring
Yes,
the
Naveen?
local body authorities, hiring
Yeah,
the local
same
body
thing was put up.
authorities, and giving insurance policies or taking any
Okay.
safety precautions, these will come under micro. And total handling of the project or completion or doing surveying and completion throughout, it will be come under micro.
Okay, fine. So now I'll come up with my thoughts. Now, when we are speaking about a big road work, which all plans you need to set up, temporary plans, which all you will require? which plants you require to be set up there for that work?
Survey should be carried out, sir.
Yeah, surveys there. I'm not talking about soil engineering work.
Sir,
I'm talking
we
about some
should
plants.
we should take in a rented basis of landscape for material storage.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the plants which we need to set up is we should need a RMC plant we require, right? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
We require a bitumen mix plant we require, right? Bitumen lagega. Then next we require big storage area. Then we
Aggregates.
require labor. Yeah, material storage means sab aa gaye re materials which all are required will come in that. Material storage area we require. Then we
Shelter
require
for
say
laborers.
shelter, yes, correct. Housing for laborers will require. Then we require a camp wherein all our equipment materials have to be kept and repaired, maintained, right?
Yeah. Sir,
Then we
also
require,
water. For
yeah,
water, we need
correct.
to either dig well or bore, whatever possible.
Yeah, water, yes,
The
correct. Well
testing
done.
of
And then
material
pump.
plants.
Very good, Shabaz. I was just coming up with this plan. We require an in-house testing unit temporarily set up. See here, now I'm counting the things. One is I got a bitumen plant. One is I got a RMC plant. One is the labor shelter things with all the arrangements and all those things. Then later this water requirement and food requirement, canteens and all I got. Then as Shabaz correctly said that we require a local testing area. Then one more point was put up, we require surveyors. Now, these things which I am talking about, is it micro or macro?
Macro.
Individual or
Macro
micro,
only,
sir?
sir.
Micro, yeah, individual are micro, and whole together when we set up the big project, it comes as a
Micro.
macro. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you now. RMC plant for an road work. That RMC plant becomes a micro unit, wherein one in charge will be appointed, wherein he will take the orders at what location, how much quantity has to be sent. He will be dealing with what? Purchasing cement, purchasing aggregates, purchasing sand, water requirement, plasticizers, anything what he wants to produce the required grade of concrete. He will be handling that budget. He will tell to the company that I require this much budget, say I require like 25 lakh rupees for this much time. So once that budget is sanctioned to him, it is his microeconomics in which he will be playing. He will be dealing with the wages of the laborers for that particular RMC plant. He will be dealing with the wages of the vehicles, drivers which are using. He will be dealing with the maintenance of those vehicles. So what becomes in the entire big road work, this one RMC plant comes as what? Microeconomics. So if you take a case study of a road work, so it can be divided into two parts. One is macro, which is the entire project, end-to-end project, starting from point A, finishing at point whatever it is B. And in this macroeconomics, one part is microeconomics, which is your RMC plant. Getting my point? Is my point clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
So that
sir.
is what is microeconomics. Now, second, you have a bitumen plant. Again, the requirements of bitumen plants are different from an RMC plant. Again, the material has to be procured. He should have fixed set of laborers with him. Okay, he should have an idea from where to get the materials and all. And as rightly welfare economics was said, I think by Vinayak, he can go ahead in the local towns, hire laborers from there itself. I had seen this project closely when the NH4 stretch of Belgaum, Kolhapur to Belgaum was going. Poonj Lloyd had one section to be dealt with. And they had planned so nicely. During that time, we were in our BE days. The planning of that work was done so nicely, and it was awarded as one of the best stretches. Whereas when we go on the other side, the stretch from Belgaum to Dharwad, it is still crying to get completed. Many of you all who travel there, I think Atya might be experiencing when she goes, Hubli Dharwad section, right? So, whereas when we see the section from Belgaum towards Kolhapur, the first section which is developed by Poonj Lloyd, they had their camping facility, they had their labor welfare cell, the medical arrangements were there. So that microeconomics was planned very nicely. So you as project manager, if you are under a project, microeconomics planning will play a very important role. Say you have been given a budget of 100 crores. Okay, 100 crores is the fund available with you. How will you distribute? First, you should have a thorough idea of the microeconomics coming under that project. Okay, macro is there only, macro is the big, what is the output? We want the road work to be completed, that becomes a macro. But micro will be what all things are needed. Now, for example, if you are setting up an water supply line, okay, again, therein where you require various subcontractors, various works are there, that becomes microeconomics. So what does economics and finance tell you is, economics has two branches. One is micro, one is macro. But having a knowledge of micro makes the macroeconomics successful. Say your RMC plan stops working because the funds are not available. Can you achieve the success of the project? No, because that's an important part of microeconomics. Now, in a country, so many states are there. We have one central ministry, which is macro. Okay, they give you all and budget what has to be done, what things have to be done. That is the macroeconomics. Whereas each state has again a finance ministry. It gives the budget for the state. That is microeconomics. So altogether states are a part of microeconomics, which makes the economics of the country, which we term as macroeconomics. So this is what is the idea about microeconomics and macroeconomics. So what you all do is take a project, take a simple project. In that, overall completion will be your macroeconomics. But as a project manager, what idea you should have is how you complete the microeconomics. So anyone who are interested, the same roadwork task I'll be giving you all. My task is to complete the entire roadwork, say take a 100-kilometer stretch. In this, you divide. I'll be sharing this notes with you all. Okay, with this microeconomics and microeconomics, you, by your common sense, general knowledge, what I expect you all is you divide the various things happening in that project under these heads. Okay, under macroeconomics, in these all four factors are there in microeconomics, whereas we discussed the factors in macroeconomics. So product theory, supply, demand. So now where you have to supply the RMC, ready mix concrete, where the demand is there. You cannot supply anywhere you want. No. So various things you try and make one small assignment on microeconomics and macroeconomics for road construction work. So road construction work will be of both. You'll be using concrete surface as well as bitumen road. So just overall to have an idea, just 1-2 pages also, if you make it, I'll be very happy. And this is not compulsory, but I expect you all to do this because that will help you in your future. So is the idea of micro and macroeconomics clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Is the discussion made satisfactory?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, right. So I hope that if you have any suggestions for the classes, you all are welcome. You can personally text me and say, sir, if you go this way, things might become more interesting, because teaching these subjects, okay, which are expressive, because say if we are studying any materials and all subjects, that it is there, it is there. The brick has this dimension, brick will have that dimension. Okay, but these are the subjects where if we involve ourselves in discussion, tomorrow writing the exams will become much and much easy. So hopefully I have presented myself well in this particular discussion. So in today's class, we have completed 2 more concepts. One is the M factors. We discussed those 7 factors which will affect economics and finance. And then later we came to the classification of economics, where we have discussed microeconomics and macroeconomics. We have taken one civil engineering example of a road work. Very nice points were put up by you all. I'm very much happy with your attitude and approach. I really appreciate it. And hopefully in further classes also, the same enthusiasm remains. So with this, let me conclude today's class. Thank you all for attending. Please put up the attendance in the chat box so that we can conclude the class. Thank you very much. God bless all. Take care. Be safe. Hope that we meet in the classroom at the earliest as possible. Thank you all. Have a great day. Once you have given the attendance, you are free to leave.